welcome to another edition of Bob's Odd Jobs. Today I'm using this art resin, which is actually a mixable epoxy. It's quite thin. I've got this crack in my table. My father-in-law built this out of barn wood, and the crack goes along the entire length of the table. We've had this for maybe 2 years now, and the crack has just gotten worse and worse. My daughter spilled a glass of milk the other day, and it went right through the table onto the floor. So I decided I'm gonna fill it with epoxy. It's a mixable epoxy. I'm just using this old paint lid that I'm using. I'm mixing it with a wooden stir stick, and I'm going to be injecting it with a syringe. I went to the drugstore. I asked the pharmacist if I could get a syringe with the highest gauge catheter or needle he had. He gave me this blunt tip needle. Anyway, you take these epoxies. I put marks on them so I can know exactly how much I've used on each one. So I put a little mark on the exact same spot of both of them. You want to pour this in equal amounts to get your epoxy. I filled this table twice before, and it's just not quite up to the level I want. I let it dry the full 24 hours in between each coat, and now I'm just going to do my final kind of fill, and I thought I'd do a quick video on how I was doing this, because it's pretty simple actually. This stuff is so thin, and it works for about 45 minutes. You can work with it, fill it in the syringe, and inject as much as you want, or as little as you need. The first couple of times I used tape and I taped these cracks out, but I've realized that the syringe is so good that I don't need to tape it. After a little while of using the thick syringe, I used a smaller 1cc syringe with that same needle on it, and it seemed to work a little better at pushing than this that I was pushing it with. But I'm sure in your case, it depends on the size of the crack you're using. Either one would work. At one point, I even tried using the syringe from my son's liquid Tylenol, and that seemed to work pretty good too. I let it dry for 24 hours, and you can see it has a little bit of a shine on it. It's not a big deal for us because we're really just trying to fix another thing that there's no point in replacing. It's just a crack in a table, and it works quite well. My idea is this table is going to last a lifetime, and over that time, this shine is going to dull down with the table, and it's going to look fine. I'm quite excited, actually, because now, whenever my kids are spilling drinks on the table, we're not going to have a wet floor underneath. I really love fixing things that I have, instead of going out and buying a new one. I really hope that Bob's Odd Jobs can help people fix what they have, save some money, conserve some energy, and live happy. If you really like the video, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.